Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 10.5. I am an old guy gaming, and we are going to continue our vanilla series here in Empyrion and do some recording. Now, just a couple things up front. I am going to be live streaming this at the same time, so just be aware of that. I will minimize the streaming part of things and not, show the overlay on the YouTube recording, but there will be live streaming going on. Just so I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone, so be aware of that. Secondly, what was I going to say? Oh, I am actually on call for work this weekend, so it's possible that I may get interrupted, and depending upon what I'm getting interrupted about, it could also pause the video. So if it's just something quick, I'll just check my phone and hopefully I won't have to deal with it immediately. But just be aware of that, just so we set the proper expectations for these next few recordings that we're going to do on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. It is October the 5th. It is my wife's birthday today, too, by the way. She may have gotten a little bit of new jewelry for her birthday, so she's happy. And, we got to keep Mama happy. That's important. So anyway, yeah, it's my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to you, my love. And then, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So we've got a lot of things that we need to do. Thank you, RT. I appreciate you saying that to my wife. I'll pass it on to her. We got a lot of things that we need to do. So I have been playing a lot of Project Eden lately and just loving it to death. It's an amazing scenario. And so I have two series going on. I've got this series going on the YouTube, and I have the Project Eden series going on. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. So I have to kind of get my head back in the game here because I haven't actually played the vanilla series since last Saturday. So let's see, I guess that we left off in the last episode. That's when I lost my ship, which was embarrassing as hell, but shit happens, right? So I've got the Claude back in the factory, but it's going to take 26 minutes for it to come back in. And so there's a few things that we have to get done. So this might be a little bit of a smorgasbord episode, at least this first one, but kind of the larger goal that I have for this afternoon and the next, couple episodes and during the stream is I want to build. And I've been wanting to do this, actually for quite some time. I'm going to build a CV-based hauling vessel. Okay? And we're going to do it from scratch. I don't have anything at all on the workshop in that type of a design. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to build, and it's going to be designed and built for hauling stuff. It's not going to be, that's its purpose. So I don't even know if I'll put a warp drive in it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not planning on putting a warp drive in it. We'll put it that way, but that could change later on because what I want to do is I want to use as much of its volume and capacity and size, for extension. So we can just put a shitload of stuff in it, but balance that out with thrusters and the ability to carry the weight because we have to deal with the weight and the volume. And I have a very general design in mind. But I haven't, it's not something that I've actually mapped out or sketched out. Like sometimes I will do that if I'm going to do like a little bit more of an elaborate build. So it's just going to be kind of shoot from the hip and we'll see, what comes together. Okay. So let's get started with a couple of, more basic things that have to happen. We are going to get attacked by the Xerax here pretty soon. Less than 1 day, 49% probability. I don't even pay attention to this. They've attacked me every single time. So we can pretty much just count on that. And every time that they have attacked us, with the exception of the very first time, we have kicked the crap out of them. So I'm not really too worried about it. One thing the game is not doing, and it needs to do, is it is not ramping up the difficulty of those attacks. I mean, they're sending like 3 drones or 1 troop transport after me, and my cannons and miniguns are just shredding the hell out of it. So, it needs more work. It needs some more work, for sure. All right, so I guess the first thing we're going to do is we need to go get some, I'm going to go pick a bunch of seaweed. I know that's not the most exciting thing in the world, but we need spoiled food, and we can make spoiled food from plant protein rather than wait for stuff to spoil. And of course, the reason we need the spoiled food is so that we can make the sprouts to finish out our wonderful, awesome, huge-ass garden that we built a few episodes back. And I do have a few things planted there, but not a lot. So Yeah, so I want to get this thing going, you know, full bore. So let's just take a little bit of time and run out into the lake there, and we'll we'll pick some seaweed, and that way we can handle that. Oh, you know what? There's another thing I wanted to do too. I want to make a quick modification to the hover vessel. So there's a problem with this design here, with the turret on top of the cockpit. And I was running into this when I was recording last night my, one of my upcoming Project Eden episodes. And that is that occasionally when you're in the cockpit and you try and get out, the game will just like jet you out of the cockpit at like high speed. And if you hit something, it'll actually hurt you. And it's because, you know, I'm not really supposed to have something on top of the cockpit. And so what I decided to do about that, and I did this on Project Eden, and then I figured, well, you know what, let's do it here too, because it's really ultimately the same vessel, is I'm going to take this off. So let's take that off. I'm also going to remove all of these little steel plates, because they only have 30 hit points each anyway. I'm going to take out these counterweight blocks, because they're not really needed. When I originally built this vessel, it was very, very front end heavy. So that's why those were in there, and I just never actually removed them. So let's see. I want to get, let's see if I have any more extensions for small vessels. I've got one right there. Let's put that stuff in there. Do I have anything in the output controller? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so what about surplus? Ah, yeah, okay, we got a whole bunch right there. We actually only need 3. 1, 2, 3. Surplus, what's that? Oh, that's this guy, right? Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit disorganized right now with my storage in here, but whatever. Okay, let's go put these extensions in place here. Give us just a little bit more volume. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this turret and we're going to set it down on the back here as a retractable turret, like so. Okay. And keep in mind, you know, although I certainly could use this vessel to mine a deposit, that's not really what its role is. This vessel is for mining meteorites. That's really what it's for. So I don't really have to worry too much about, you know, clearance. However, you know, if we did decide at some point that we did want to, you know, mine a deposit with it, we can retract the turret and it'll give us a little bit more clearance. And we probably would want to take this thing off temporarily as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Can I P-menu this? Let's go ahead and just retract the turret. Oh, you know what, though? I need to make a special switch for that so that it doesn't also retract the mining turret. So let's do that in a second here. We will recolor this. That brown. We'll make that brown too. Okay. All right, now let's see here. Let's go into here, and I want to make a custom switch that will only shut down the turret up on top and not the mining turrets or drills. Okay, so what we got to do there is we've got to set that to custom 1, and then I think that's all we got to do. Oh, let's fix this up too. We just want that to hit NPC factions and drones. I don't want to shoot at anything else because it's just going to waste ammo. Okay, so we'll apply that to the group. And then if we go here, we should be able to turn... Oh my god, that's loud. We should be able to turn that on, you know, to get the drills back out. But then if we just pop this switch... There we go. It closes the top turret but keeps the drills out. Beautiful. Okay, can we texture that? Let's take a look. Let's take a look, because it needs to be camo. Haha, look at that. See, we can't texture the extensions, unfortunately. I wish that we could. But, see, it doesn't let me do it. I don't know why not. I mean, shit, we should be able to do that, but we can't, so. Okay, so I think that's it for the changes to this guy. Do I have... Wait a second. I gotta check one other thing. You know what? I don't have a wireless on here. I put one on the one that I did in Project Eden. We need a wireless on here, you guys. It's just such a pain in the ass to not have one on there with the logistics system. So I don't probably have one of those floating around, do I? Let's take a look. If I did, it would be in general. Don't see one. Don't see one. Let's check output. Nope. Okay, we need to make ourselves a wireless controller. That's not a big deal. We can do that. Looks like we got a damn radiation storm going on outside. Hate those things. What are we wearing for armor in this case? We're in medium armor here. I actually have heavy armor in my Project Eden series. I totally hit the jackpot and found some when I desperately needed it too, so it was awesome. But we still have protection up to 11 rads, and it looks like the storm outside is 7.8, so we could still go outside and be okay. Alright, what are we doing? We are making the wireless. So let's grab that. And we just got to find a spot to put it here. Probably what I'm going to do is... Damn, I'm going to have to redo all this again, aren't I? Well, not a big deal. So let's pick this back up for a second. And let's pull that back out, and we'll put the wireless right there. I don't know if that's where I put it on my in Project Eden version of this, but that's where I'll put it here. Okay, so let's see. Grab the turret, put the turret back down again as a retractable. It's funny that the ghost image still had the camo look to it. Let's make this the brown camo, just so we have a little more contrast there. Nice. Okay, so now I don't think the switch is... It can't possibly still be set up to it, so we got to redo that. So we'll go to turret. We got to do it on the... Oh, it is still set. Okay, good. Nice. It remembered it. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's it for this guy. Let's go ahead and throw it up on the workshop. So we'll bring it out here where we can take a little bit better screenshot of it. Put it right in the center of the factory. Now you'll notice, because I removed those mass blocks in the back, it just ever so slightly tilts to the front. But you know what? That's not a big deal. In fact, that's even could be a bit of an advantage on a mining vessel anyway. It's super negligible. Super negligible. When I originally had built the vessel, it was tipping to the front like dramatically, and that's why I had to put those in. But you know, since I've changed it a lot from that original build, we just don't need those, and that way we can put other stuff in those spots instead. All right, cool. Yeah, see if I hit, oh, it just barely tips back up, but it's not a problem at all. Could even be an advantage. Okay, so let's hop out of here. Actually, first let's go save the template. Okay, so we got that done. Let's bring the turret back out for the screenshot because it'll look good. Okay. And then we'll just kind of find a good angle for it. That's not a bad angle except for the lights kind of glaring, isn't it? I guess we could fix that, right? Yeah, that looks better. We'll get a little bit of an angle shot. You want to try? Should we try it from this side instead? Guess it doesn't matter. Get a little closer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to update it. Camo miner here. Let's just overwrite it. There we go. And then we update this to the workshop. make it public for any of you guys if you want to try it out. Excellent. Okay. I think we're done with that. Is that thing actually tilting to the right a little bit? No, I don't think so. It shouldn't be, because as far as I know, it's evenly balanced on all sides. All right, this guy's ready to go. It's ready to go eat some more meteorites when the time comes. Okay, so let's see what we were going to do. We were going to... Can't talk. We were going to go get some seaweed so that we can make some spoiled food so that we can make some more seeds for our garden. So let's do that next. Take a hit at O2 here. And chow down on some steak. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in here to make, to make buds with. We just don't have the spoiled food that we need. And there's only like 2 plant proteins, so we gotta go get a bunch of plant protein. It's gonna be worth our while to do that now. Thought I had to sneeze. I still might. Okay, maybe not. Where's those other extensions? They must be in the general. Didn't I have like a whole bunch of those? Where are they? Surplus. Oh, they're right here. Okay. Blind as a bat sometimes, man. Blind as a friggin' bat. All right. Let's see. We've got some oxygen bottles, so we're good on that front. I think we're ready to go. Let's take a hover vessel with us just so we can get back here quickly in case we get attacked whilst we're out there, which we probably will. We'll just take the little hunter with us. Radiation storm's sticking around for a long time, isn't it? So right about out in this area here, there should be a bunch of seaweed plants. Yeah, you can kind of see them from the surface here. Actually, you can see them quite well from the surface. Let's drop down just a little bit. That's probably good enough. Looks like the radiation storm is dissipating. I wish they would do more in this game with the water. Because the environments are really, actually they're really neat down here. But then, they're a little bit better than they used to be, but I don't know. It would be cool. There's a couple of things I would like to see happen with the water here in Empyrion. I'd like to see it be much deeper than it is. And, sometimes on an ocean planet it gets a little bit deeper, but it's not like Subnautica deep. At least I don't think it is. Not that I've seen. Back in older Empyrion, like Alpha 7 and older, there was in the kind of base vanilla game, there was a planet called Oskatoon. It was an ocean planet, and that actually had some pretty damn deep water in it. So it was kind of cool to, go undersea exploring. But the thing is, though, is there's only one aquatic creature in the game. It's that telepod, and it's pretty lame. It only stays by the shore for one thing. It can't actually swim. It has to, so if it aggroes you, it stays along the bottom, which doesn't make sense. It should be able to swim up and get you. And I don't know. I'd like to see more undersea life. Maybe a little more vegetation too, but also, more challenges and threats down here to make it more exciting. Like some kind of space shark or something that wants to come and eat your ass. That'd be cool. And the other thing about the water is I really wish they would make it act like real water instead of just blocks, Particularly for displacement purposes. So for example, if you place a block down in the water in this game and pick the block back up, the water's still there. It doesn't displace the water. So if you've ever attempted any kind of an elaborate underwater build, which I have, I did a very large underwater build in Alpha 7. Built a whole base and everything. It was really cool. But it was a hell of a lot of work because I couldn't get rid of the damn water. The only way I could get rid of it was to use the filler tool and raise the earth up into the area that I wanted the water to disappear from. And then I had to cut all that earth back down and then build like a glass dome around it. It took me hours of real time to do all that. And, you know, shameless plug here. If you're interested in seeing that, check out my Alpha 7 playlist on the YouTube channel. It's all there. But anyway, there's a lot of potential. The water is really potentially really cool in this game, you know, and there's more that they could do with it. And I hope that down the road, you know, they're planning on doing more with it, because it is another environment. It's another biome, just like, you know, the desert biome and the forest biome and everything else. But it seems like it's been kind of left behind. Well, I don't know if left behind is the right word. It's just they need to do more with it. That's my point. So you only get attacks from telephods, and they can't attack you unless you are on the bottom. They can't swim up and get you, which they should be able to do. That's the only water creature in the whole damn game to begin with. There should be several creatures that live, or at least can go in the water and swim in the water. So maybe, you know, maybe they will do that down the road in another alpha. You mean they shot through the water and from up above and attacked it? Yeah, they can do that. That's not what I meant. I mean, have stuff that actually lives in the water, you know, that it's part of that biome. Or, you know, if like, let's say, for example, the Xerax drops a ground patrol and, you know, and you're in the water, they'll come after you in the water. I don't know, maybe they do, I guess. I haven't really tested that specific thing. But the overall point that I'm trying to make is, you know, have actual aquatic life. And, you know, add more stuff to the biome itself, add more vegetation, more features, that sort of thing. And make the water deeper. That's a big thing. And then again, from the technical perspective, make the water flow, make it act like real water and not just blocks. Even though I know this is a block-based game, of course, but and that's, you know, that's not an easy thing to do. I understand that with the nature of these kinds of games. It would take a lot more processor cycles to manage something like that. And so I get it. But, you know, maybe someday they can manage to make it work. I read an interesting comment from Joel Hunick, who is, you know, like the lead guy for 7 Days to Die. I was reading the patch notes for the upcoming Alpha 18, which is supposed to come out on Monday for everybody. In fact, I think it's already been released for streamers, certain, you know, high level streamers, high profile streamers, I guess. And they're streaming it right now. Most of them are. But anyway, all that to say, he made a really important comment. He said, you know, when you're, you know, don't compare the performance of games like 7 Days to Die, that, you know, has a world that's completely, you know, that you can completely change, with a game like Call of Duty 4 that has what he called like baked in lighting in a static world that you can't change, because, you know, these games have a hell of a lot higher processor load and computations and things that they have to do to make them work. So, and I've seen people make that comment before about game, you know, about 7 Days to Die. They get on, watch me when I'm streaming or whatever, and they say, this game doesn't really look that good. It looks like an old game. It's like, well, yeah, but you got to understand what the game is actually doing. And you can't expect it to have graphics that are on par, you know, with a AAA title that has a static world. You know, like Metro. I love the Metro games, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful game, but you can't change the world. Whereas in this game, you can. And so, you know, you gotta keep that stuff in mind when you're making remarks like that, and appreciate the game for what it can do, even though it doesn't have as good a graphics as some of the other games. You know, even Ark Survival Evolved is similar to this game in the sense that it's a survival game, right? But you can't manipulate the world in Ark. It's a static world, and it's frustrating as all hell to build in that game too. It just is. Absolutely frustrating because of that fact. So, you know, just keep all those things in mind when you're making those types of comparisons. Maybe someday, soon, we will have a game like Empyrion or 7 Days to Die with all of the things that it can do in terms of world manipulation, and also have like AAA state-of-the-art graphics. We're not there yet, though. We're not there yet. And Empyrion has done a fantastic job overall, you know, of improving the graphics of this game. This is not an ugly game by any stretch of the imagination. It does actually look pretty good, all things considered, particularly since it is still, you know, at its core a block building game. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and park this, and we'll put all the protein that we just picked into the food processor and make as much spoiled food out of it as we can, and then we'll get some sprouts going. Okay, all right, well, that's cool then. I'm actually glad that they can do that. But still, my overall point was that I was really thinking more about actual aquatic life. Oh shit, I got a bunch of spoiled food in here. Okay. I completely forgot I put those in there. Well, we need all of it, so 60 spoiled food. All right, good, good. Well, okay, then what do we need for... What do we need? I gotta go look again at the garden and see what the deal is here. Because the way it's planted now is not necessarily going to be its ultimate configuration. So I think this whole section over here is going to be spice. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3 is 21, 22, 23. So we need 23 spice sprouts. Let's work on those first. Okay, good. The clod is done. 23 spice sprouts. I guess I don't need to run all the way over there. We can do that from here, huh? So let's go here and... no. We'll go here. Find the food processor. And go to here. Oh, we got to make the nutrient solution first. Ah, shit. Okay. And we need more purified water. All right. All right. All right. Where is the purified water? Do I have a stock of that? I don't have a stock of it there. And there's not much going on there. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's get the nutrient solution needs the purified water too. Goodness gracious. Did I, like, stop production on that stuff? I sure did. Damn it, you can't take me anywhere. Shit, okay. Let's make a couple more of those. We got to get some purified water going, because I don't think there's any other way to make purified water other than from those condensers. As far as I know, you can't make it any other way. Right? There's no recipe in here for purified water. And I'm pretty damn sure you can't make it in the constructors either. But let's just look. Let's just look. Yeah, we can make oxygen in there. There's no food options at all. Can we make it in our own thingamadoodle? Nope. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to make some more condensers. So we need one iron ore and 3 copper ores to make that happen. Well, we got 3 copper ores. And 1 iron. Do I have stone in here? I do. Can I make the ores? Yeah, I can. Okay, so let's see. Let's have 4 of those going in total. So we'll make 3 more copper ores out of the stone we have, and I've got 1 more iron ore here. Okay, so we'll get that going. And we'll just have to wait for those to finish. It shouldn't take them too long, particularly in an advanced constructor. Remember though, I'm on the hardest settings, so I've got really slow construction. Sometimes I watch other people's YouTube videos and they've got that turn like to either instant or really fast, and I see them make something, I'm going, oh man. if only mine went that fast. That's okay though. That's part of the challenge. That's part of what we're trying to accomplish in this series, is playing this game on the hardest settings all the way through to the very end. As much of a pain in the ass as that sometimes is. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this episode. So we're going to wrap it up here. When we come back in the next episode, we'll get the Clod spawn back in and get it re-equipped, so that's ready to go. And then I think we'll go ahead and start the Capital Hauler build. I'm excited to do that because that thing is going to come in handy. You know, one thing I've noticed about Alpha 10, Alpha 10.5, and Project Eden and everything, the more I play, the more I'm realizing that salvage is a huge part of this game now. It's always been available to us, right? But I don't know, it seems like now it's even more important because you can get so much good stuff, and there's especially in Project Eden, there's so many POIs that you can loot with a lot of good stuff in it. It just makes salvage like a very worthwhile thing to do. And so, you know, we need something to haul all that salvage in. And so that's the whole idea behind building this CV hauler that we're going to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment and share out the video. Those things do help. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.